I used to get pretty intoxicated early on in our relationship, and Dave just powered through those times.
And sometimes recorded.
Loved me anyway. Recorded them. I remember leaving him early voicemails. We had known each other for like 3 weeks, and I called and left you a voicemail that you still have on your phone.
Oh yeah, I have voicemails from her from 11 years ago.
No game.
Wow.
I'm just like, I like you so much. Just so drunk. It's a good, solid drunk dial.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Korey here, middle of the day, so you know something special is going down, and something very special is happening right now. Not only do I have an interview today with somebody, I have an interview today with two people, and not just two people, but an extremely lovely couple over here, Dave Franco and ALISON BRIE. And how you guys doing?
We're good. We're good.
Well.
Thanks for having us.
How you doing?
I'm doing much better than that. You guys are here. It's a joy to be able to talk to you. I've been of course, like anybody else would say, a huge fan of some of your works out there. And we're here to talk about one particular thing right now, a project that both of you have worked on, Somebody I Used to Know.
Yes.
That's right. That's the new movie out now.
If it's okay, I'd like to show people we won't do this through the whole interview, but just a real quick clip, because I saw the trailer. I have not seen the movie yet, but saw the trailer. Trailer is actually very, very funny. Starts out very funny, and I want to show people a little bit of that. That's all right?
Great.
No, I looked at that and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Everybody in that restaurant saw you slide on that table like that.
What do you mean? I did it so stealth.
Oh yeah, very subtle, very subtle. Yeah, no one saw that at all.
Gotta at least be impressed with the flexibility.
Oh yeah, that was smooth.
That is wow. It's like you got no bones in your body at all. You're like a worm going on there.
They call me the worm.
So do you want to tell us what this is about, either one of you?
Yeah. So Allison, her character is a workaholic, and she has a crisis at her job, and so she decides to go back to her hometown to kind of center herself. And while she's there, she runs into an ex-boyfriend played by Jay Ellis. And he's kind of the one that got away, and they end up having this incredible night together. And she starts to think like, oh man, this guy might be like the answer to all my problems. And then she discovers that he is getting married that weekend. But she decides to stick around and see what happens.
Yeah, I actually want to see what happens, man. And I'm being very sincere when I say I want to see this. You know, a lot of people say that out of politeness, but I'm being serious when I say I want to see this. And I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. But I'm going to go back and forth between questions for both of you. But David, I want to talk to you real quick about you and your career and the last movie that you did. The last movie you did was a horror movie called The Rental. So,
the last one I directed, yeah.
Yeah, the last one you directed. Yeah, I'm sorry, the last movie you directed. By the way, when I say I'm a fan of your work, I really am. I enjoyed this movie a lot.
Great, thank you. Yeah,
I really thought it was a great film, man. And the thing about that movie, it's a horror movie. So a lot of times when you have, now let me ask you, was that your directorial debut?
It was, yeah.
So you get a person that their first movie is a horror film. So people automatically assume that, you know, since you directed a horror film and it was successful, you're going to do another horror film. And that's not what you did. You went on and did a rom-com. You know, what made you want to do a romantic comedy next?
Yeah, you know, it wasn't like a conscious choice to take a huge left turn and do something completely different than my first film. These are just two genres that I have a lot of affection for. And we kind of came up with this idea at the very beginning of COVID lockdown. And during that time, the movies that we were watching were a little bit more uplifting and hopeful. And so we kind of just turned to each other and said, let's do our own version of that and try to put out a little positivity into the world.
So now that you've had you got a horror movie under your belt, now that you've done a rom-com, is that well, you know, I'm not trying to like peg your career down or anything like that. It sounds like you just do whatever, just kind of moves you to do whatever you want to do next. But is there any kind of genre that you want to tackle next?
To be honest, I haven't like fully thought too far down the line. If I had to give you an answer, my gut is telling me that I'm kind of itching to get back to horror. I just love horror movies so much, and there's been a lot of really good ones recently that have inspired me. So if I had to guess, I think that might be the next one.
Allison, you're over there shaking your head like, yeah, he is. Is there something you know that we don't know?
No, I mean, I just know how much Dave loves horror films. I was so into horror in high school, and then I think I just started to get too scared and kind of stopped watching horror films as much. And in the last 10 years, Dave's just been slowly working on me, getting me back into horror movies, and they are some of my favorite films still. It's such an exciting genre. But now Dave has to pre-vet the horror movies for me, so he watches them first, and then he lets me know, like, this one's worth the scare.
Yeah. But speaking of horror movies, since you're such a big fan of it, now this is just a little kind of a side right here. We'll get back onto you guys, but have you seen Barbarian?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we saw it in the theater.
We loved it.
I interviewed Zach not too long ago about this movie, and one of the things that I said to him, I said, you and Dave Franco should like do something together, man, because your movies are like the perfect double feature.
It's funny you say that. I tracked down his email and I reached out to him after we saw it, just because we had such a great time with it, and we kind of went back and forth, and there was a lot of mutual affection and love there, and it was really nice. Yeah.
I mean, y'all have made people. You scared the shit out of people who want to rent an Airbnb. People don't rent Airbnbs anymore because of you two guys, man. So, I just want to say something real quick because you two wrote this movie together. I can see why you two work so well together. My production assistant sent me this video, and if you weren't already an adorable couple, this just makes it even better. Allison, you love this man so much that you just speak a completely different language. I didn't. Now, maybe people have seen this video. I haven't seen this video, but you posted up a video where she was drunk, and she was trying to say how much she loves you, but just the words were just coming out in another, like you speaking in tongues or something.
But confident.
I'm just saying it's Doug.
Playing it right now?
But not
Yeah.
for Croup, the racetrack.
Like right here, I'm just saying it's Doug Way to Prue, putting up Parvanac for crew at the race dry. What the hell does that mean?
What does that mean? Translate.
I don't know. We'll never. It's just my personal emotional secret.
I just thought that was cute.
It's all love. It's our love language, man.
I used to get pretty intoxicated early on in our relationship, and Dave just powered through those times.
And sometimes recorded.
Loved me anyway. Recorded them. I remember leaving him early voicemails. We had known each other for like 3 weeks, and I called and left you a voicemail that you still have on your phone.
Oh yeah, I have voicemails from her from 11 years ago.
No game.
Wow.
I'm just like, I like you so much. Just so drunk. Like a good solid drunk dial.
I think you should make another rom-com and call it Droift and Fifth, right?
That is a good name.
Good title. It's a good title.
I want to say when I was telling you that I'm looking forward to watching this movie, somebody I used to know, I really am, because I'm not being polite, because I got to tell you, I'm very much looking forward to this for a particular reason, and that is because I'd like to thank you both. I don't know who's responsible for this. Maybe neither one of you are, but I'd like to thank you both, and you could pass it on to whoever, for casting a black man as the lead of a rom-com. At least now listen, you never know these days. I think he's black, right? I mean, I don't.
Oh yeah.
That's Jay Ellis. Jay Ellis
Yes.
right now as the main lead in a rom-com, because you usually don't see a whole lot of black leads in rom-coms, and when you do, the studios they almost manufacture them for a demographic. If you get an all black cast in a rom-com, it's pretty much a BET movie after a while. So I'm looking at this and it doesn't play out that way. You see more diverse casting these days, so it's nothing new. But did you have a hand in the casting of this?
Oh, very much so.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we just love Jay. We're
yeah.
huge fans of his from Insecure, and the role he plays in the movie is it's like threading a needle, you know, where his character spends a lot of the film pretty confused and maybe making some questionable decisions, and Jay is so kind and warm and charismatic and just inherently memeable.
Yeah, you can't help but root for him no matter what, which is without giving away too much in the movie. It's very crucial for that character. And Jay's also, he's just so grounded as an actor. He's so human and real. And so as an audience, while you're watching him, you relate to what he's going through. And even if you don't condone some of these things he's doing, you get where it's coming from.
Yeah, he's blowing up right now too. He was just in Maverick, and you know he's had a long career. And I'm going to ask you about some of the people you worked with that. But no, I thought that was just really cool, man. And one of the things I've always said is that in Hollywood, it's changing now. Of course, it's weird that it's changing now, but I was like, man, how come you just can't see more diversity in things like romantic comedies, you know? And so I'm glad that you actually did this here. Speaking of Jay Ellis, I mean, who like we said, he's blowing up right now. He's in the biggest movie, one of the biggest movies of the year. He's in Maverick. But Dave, you've been working with some people, man, who have really been blowing up at the moment. In The Rental, I did not even realize it that Jeremy Allen White, who is incredible in The Bear, you know, with all kind of awards and everything. I forgot that he was in The Rental, man.
So it's funny, while we were filming The Rental, I swear to God, we would all look at each other every single day on set and say, like, why is this guy not the biggest star in the world? He is so good. And you talk to any of the actors on that set, they were just like, the scenes opposite Jeremy are just so easy,
So good.
and, like, great.
And Chris Storer, who created The Bear, was a producer on The Rental. He's a good friend of ours. So I guess you have us to thank.
For The Bear.
Well, thank you again. I've been thanking you through this whole interview, so thank you once again. Thank you for things that I haven't mentioned yet. Thank you, damn it, thank you. But no, you know, he's so great, man. Because when I saw him in The Bear, I thought he was just all these people feel like like real people, you know. So I thought he was somebody that they really did get off the street, and then I was like, oh, that guy was in A Rental. But speaking of casting, again, you guys said you had a big hand in casting here. Allison, I got to tell you, Julie Haggerty, she plays your mom in the movie, right?
Yes, she is the most wonderful, delightful person you will ever meet. We wrote that role with her in mind, but we didn't know her at all prior to making the film, and so we weren't sure if she would say yes to the role, but we got so lucky that she did because she's just delectable. I mean, we're big fans of hers from so many things. A lot of people know her from Airplane, Best Friends. We just loved her turn in Marriage Story, the Noah Baumbach movie from a few years ago, which I just love so much. And she's just exactly what you would picture. She feels like your mom, but she's also great at towing the line between like hilarious comedy and real deep emotional moments. And that's exactly what this character required. Kind of everybody in the movie has that talent, and we kind of were seeing that of everybody.
It's just that when I look at it younger right here, and I don't know, man, she just physically and even personality wise is just kind of encompasses you in a way. Are you encompass her in a way?
We do feel like mother died. It's true. As you pulled this picture up, I was like, we do look alike.
And while we were on set during the scenes where Allison and Julie were together, there were some moments, and you see even a moment in the movie where it's like this two shot of them where they're both in profile looking at each other, and they laugh at the same time, and their smiles are like identical, and it's like, ooh, this really feels like a beautiful mother-daughter dynamic.
The chemistry was very real. I feel like even between takes, Julie and I were just giggling together.
I mean, it's like when people watch this, she feels like your mom. She looked like, she gave birth to you. But I just wanted to say it was great casting right there. Great casting decision. So switching this over to you, Allison, you have writing and producing credits. right now? Is there any chance you might go into competition with your man right there and start directing?
Definitely. I actually have directed a couple episodes of television. I directed an episode of Glow in our third season. I directed an episode of Marvel 616, which was a documentary anthology series for Disney Plus. I was gonna direct an episode of Glow in our fourth season, but the show got canceled. So I love it. I love directing. I think having witnessed firsthand the work that goes into that, it's such a time commitment. So I'm sort of just waiting for the right thing. I'm not sure, will it be something that I write? Do I want to try to direct this guy, turn the tables and direct Dave in a movie? Or am I just looking for the right piece of material? It's like I have to just feel it. You have to feel so strongly about the thing you're directing, because acting, can be a one-off. You're like, oh, that sounds fun. I'll go do that for a couple months. And then you're like, bye. Directing, the movie is your life for years at a time.
Do you want to do more projects together, after doing this one?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, we're actively trying to find something else to collaborate on. There's a couple things that are in the works. We can't really talk about them yet, but we might work together in a different capacity than this one. I'll just say that.
Okay, well, see, it sounds like you're having a really good time working together. You want to do it again, but what are the challenges? Not only working together, but being in the entertainment industry together. I mean, it's because in my mind, I think that when you have people who work in movies, whether they're directing or acting, and they're working on separate projects, what's it like if somebody comes home and this person's movie did great, but this person's movie didn't do well this week? Do those challenges exist with you two?
Kind of. I don't know. I feel like early on, we've been together 11 years. Early on in our relationship, I feel like we hit a couple of those things right away, where we were not up for the same roles, but we were up for roles in the same movies, and one of us would get it. Dave would get it. I wouldn't get it. And I actually feel like it's nice that we went through that stuff kind of right at the beginning and realized right away, like, oh, well, I'm happy for you always, no matter what is going on with you. And my thing is separate. And if there's any downside, I think we've always really loved that we're in the same industry and do the same thing, because we have a level of understanding and compassion for what the job is, and understanding in terms of, the amount of time that we might have to spend apart and things like that. And that's sort of the only downside, I think, is that we as actors would have to spend sometimes long periods of time apart, because we wouldn't be controlling when and where things are shooting, which is why it's a big reason why we wanted to work together, just to be around each other more.
Yeah.
But no, I would say I don't think we've ever felt a sense of competition or what. No, it's been all love and support from the beginning, which is amazing. And it's like, I've been in relationships in the past where it wasn't that way, and it sucks. And so it is nice to be in the same industry, just in the sense that we understand kind of how crazy this job can be, with the hours and the time away from home and just everything you put into it. So I think it has been really beneficial for us to do this whole thing.
So that's the key word right there, support, no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, how did you two even meet? I mean, was it on a movie set?
Not quite.
We met at Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
Did you really?
Yeah. That's not a lot.
Made a face, but it's true. We spent a weekend together doing Molly, and it was so fun.
It sounds like she's making this up, but that's the truth.
The truth. It is the truth.
And now 11 years later, we're
it all worked out.
We're promoting a movie that we wrote together and Garza and I directed. So meet your person at Mardi Gras.
And do lots of drugs with them. It will seal the deal right there. It'll
lots of drugs.
That's the only
right there. Yeah. Hey, you playing, but I know you're being honest. I mean, thank you for your honesty. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, so speaking of honesty right here, and we're about to wrap it up, and I'm not going to go into details at all. This is a very general question. People probably know what I'm saying and whatnot, but there's been controversy in your lives that's probably hit close to home. But the thing is that you know, you're still successful. You keep working. You know, those things don't seem to really, you know, affect you at all very much. How do you work through that, and how do you stay successful through that?
I mean, you know, to me, the thing about working in this industry that I learn more and more every year is that ultimately it comes down to being proud of the work that you're making and the way that you handle yourself on a set and the experiences that you have. I think, again, that this is part of the reason why Dave and I enjoy making our own work together, is like with this movie, wanting to put something positive and hopeful out into the world, wanting to surround ourselves with really good people who also are extremely talented. And that's sort of the best you can do, right? Once something is out in the world, people are going to have their opinions about it. Certain things are going to happen around you. There's so much that's out of our control. And not just in this industry, that kind of goes for anybody in any industry. So I think the most important is staying true to yourself and just trying to behave and do things that you're proud of.
Yeah, I think as opposed to choosing jobs because you think, oh, this is what I should be doing next because that'll lead me to this other thing.
Worrying about the results.
It's just like we've gotten to a point where you know, our criteria for choosing projects is more based on like, okay, do I think I'm gonna have a good time, and is this something I'm genuinely passionate about? And I think just approaching everything in that way has just made it so we continue to have a good time, and I think that might show on screen. And I think we're doing our best work because of it.
And I actually think this ties into a big theme of the movie, which is reconnecting to the things that you're passionate about and the things that bring you joy in your life, and kind of at any point in your life being able to rediscover your truest self. So you're gonna have to tune in to Somebody I Used to Know on Prime Video.
Oh, look at you bringing it back. Look at that. Expert marketer right there.
Thank you.
Last question I have for you. So you two work together a lot, and you do. You were both in the Disaster Artist together. And if anybody knows the Disaster Artist, this is about what's considered to be one of the best worst movies ever made. So do you bond over bad movies at all? Do you have your favorite bad movies that you like to watch together?
Yeah, we definitely do.
What are you thinking of?
I was thinking that anytime we are away on vacation in a hotel, we like to just rent silly movies.
Sure.
And yeah, we bond. I think we bond over every type of movie. We watch a movie almost every night of our lives.
And like across the gamut, all genres,
every
all
genre,
different types, highbrow, lowbrow, give us everything.
Also, bad movies, it's such an interest. It's like almost a misnomer. I sort of think you go into certain movies, it's like you got to know what you're in for. You got to be in the mood for that thing, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously, The Room is its own like unique experience. But there's a way to enjoy every type of movie, I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, it's somebody who watches movies all the time. Yeah. Well, you know, I've been enjoying this. It's been relaxing. It looks like we've done this in a fishing boat. Looks like you're in the middle of a lake. I'm looking at this background that you got there. I'm gonna let you get back to your fishing trip, and I really appreciate you guys coming in and doing this. And I really do look forward to watching the movie. The movie Somebody I Used to Know. You can watch this right now on Amazon. And as I said, if watch the trailer. The trailer will get you in. So many things it looks like to enjoy with this. And congratulations on that.
Thank you, man.
So much.
Hope you enjoy it.
Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, appreciate you being here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you, man.
And guys, that's it. I appreciate it. As usual, everybody being here. If you like our interviews, please go check them out over on our interview page. Double Toasted Interviews. Our YouTube channel. I'm saying page, our YouTube channel, Double Toasted Interviews. I think I had that up there. Might be gone now. Oh, they are. Let me go ahead. I got to do this again. Hold on, y'all. All right. Hold on. I used to have this ready for you guys all the time, and after I'm done doing these interviews, but for some reason it disappeared. But this interview went well today, if I say so myself. And of course, I'm saying that not because of me, but because of the wonderful talent that we have. But if you like that interview, we got a lot of others. And they're interviews of different styles, different lengths, but they're all very informative and also very educational, I'd say. You learn something from them all the time. So if you like this interview, go look at all of our other interviews with animators, artists, directors, actors, internet personalities, all types of people of all types of works, and all of them. I have yet to, well, no, that's not true. I did have one that was pretty bad. But other than that, one out of, a lot is not bad. Again, I want to thank everybody who watched this, who supports this, and I want to thank Dave Franco and Alison Brie for coming in and doing the interview. Look forward to doing more, and we do have some more lined up. I want to thank Kevin King, producer extraordinaire, for coming in and setting this up. And in addition to interviews, we always have a lot of things coming up here on Double Toasted, so please stay tuned, and you can do so, first of all, by emailing me, kcoolmans@gmail.com. That is KCOOLMANZ@gmail.com. Email us with any kind of questions, comments, compliments, insults, input, and/or advice. Hit us up on those social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We got some other things in there that you don't see listed. TikTok, Patreon, all that good stuff. Copy down that information that you see right there, or even better yet, just type in Double Toasted. It'll take you wherever you need to go. All things double, all things toasted. And if you find yourself here in Austin, Texas, which a lot of people do, the weather's starting to get a little warmer right now. Get here before it gets hot. But whenever you get here, let us know. That way we're able to prepare for you, clear our schedules just for you. All you gotta do is email us, kcoolmans@gmail.com, and let us know what your plans are for Austin. Are you moving here? Are you just passing through? Whatever it is that you're doing, let us know. And as I said, we'll clear our schedules for you. All right, everybody, that is it. Once again, thank you for watching. I want to thank everybody who helped pull this interview together. I want to thank all of you for always supporting. And if nothing else, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are listening to, or whenever you're watching this, goodbye. And as always, stay toasty.